I think when you start the actual process, having extra embryos or having a super successful cycle, I guess it's not anything you're going to think about like you would going into it. You're just hoping the process works.
Yeah,
and,
you're just hoping for the baby.
Yeah, and having a lot of extra embryos at the end of it, I think was surprising.
Yeah.
To say the least. We didn't really expect to have that.
We never thought about where we would be at the end of this process at the beginning. We were only thinking about the process it took to get a child. We never thought about what happened at the end.
My thought process as a mother was my responsibility to my children, whether I raised them or not or had them, was to give them the best option at a great life. And so donation was the only option for me.
And then we started thinking about, that's a gift that we could give to someone who is experiencing the same fear of not having children, the same anger that this is happening to me, the anxiety of the medical process, the money, that this was really something that we had the rare opportunity to share with somebody else.
You have something that is of value to someone, why would you throw it away if someone else could enjoy it and have joy from that, and it would give their life fulfillment like it did me.
You get to a point where you think, well, I love my daughter so much that if I can provide someone else with that joy and that love, then that's really the only option we had.
We felt that embryo would be a gift that we could give to another family so that they could have the same opportunity that we've had, that they could experience the birth of a child just like we've had.
All my life, it's been told to me, if you father a child, you need to be there for that child. And the idea of having a child out there someplace that was my son or daughter that I wasn't being responsible for, it was like, there's no way I can do that. When I realized that, it was an emotional response, and the intellectual response was, well, that certainly is silly. Obviously, you're off the hook. You don't have to be responsible for this child. Someone else is going to be very responsible. It's a very different thing. So as soon as I realized that, it was resolved. Just realizing that that was the emotional hurdle that I was having to overcome.
I still struggle thinking, do I have other children out there? But knowing that I was able to say, okay, I want it to be, this type of couple who make this much money, who have been married this long, was, comforting for me. And especially to say, that they raised them with these beliefs, abide by these beliefs. It was just made me feel better.
Because we could set the parameters of the people who they were being donated to, you definitely get a lot of comfort in knowing that, hey, these are the type of people we want them with. These are the stipulations that we're putting out there, so we know they're going to be well taken care of if they do in fact end up having a baby.
My advice is to always keep an open mind, because in this whole process we have flip-flopped our opinions and our stances several times. At first he wanted to have no more children, this was it, I wanted to have it. Then when we decided he wanted to destroy it, I wanted to have it, then neither one of us were going to get our way on that one, so our other options were donate it to a couple or donate it to research. Again, he wanted to donate to a couple, I wanted to donate it to research, so we always stood on opposite grounds, and just be willing to have that open conversation with each other and know there are choices, but you as a couple have to come to that choice together.
I wish we had kind of talked about it and thought about it maybe at the very beginning, because I do think that you have that tunnel vision, you aren't even thinking. And then when it comes up, it's like, oh my gosh, we have this embryo in storage, and and they've called me and they want to know what we want to do with it. And if we can't make up our mind, then we are going to pay whatever to store it for, how. And so I think if we had thought about it before we started the process, it might have been a little easier.